up, you're gonna be late.
I don't want to get out of bed.
Just hold your breath.
Why?
Because it'll speed up your heart rate, tricking your body into waking up and being more alert. What the fuck? Oh, I just overstimulated one of your body's nerves, which made it think it already sneezed, which stopped your sneeze. Well, maybe I would have enjoyed the sneeze. Do you ever think about that? What are you doing? The back of my throat just itches for some reason. You should try just itching the inside of your ear. It'll cause a throat spasm and get rid of the tickle. You don't have to do all that.
Wow. Thanks.
Wow, y'all been tagging me in this video like crazy. And I see why, because it's a perfect example of Space Rex's weird, incoherent, nothing makes any sense conspiracy theory. Rex wants you to believe that these are like giant snakes or like dragons or some leviathan or something like that. But guess what? It isn't. The first clue is actually on the screen right now, and that's the fact that the site is called Wadi El Khatan. Do you know what that means? It means Valley of the Whales, Rex. But you would know that if you Googled it. The mudstone which the site is made out of was deposited on a seafloor tens of millions of years ago. And because of this, it houses a wealth of marine fossils, including one that you actually show off here. This is actually the first complete fossil of a basilosaurus ever found. This big fella swam the ocean about 40 million years ago and is a descendant of many of our modern whales. See, Rex, you don't have to lie for things to be interesting. And this isn't some super unknown site that the government's trying to keep from you either. It's so important that it's literally a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And if you don't believe me, here's UNESCO themselves saying that it's an invaluable site because of its extinct whale fossils. So while this video may not have any proof of dragons, it does have some really good method acting. Powerful stuff, man. Daniel Day-Lewis would be proud.
Because I lie and sign myself to lies!
If you hate Ancient Aliens theories as much as I do, then you're gonna love this. I'm going to be making an entire series breaking down Ancient Aliens theories in depth, with videos that are a little bit more structured and a whole lot longer. And I want to tackle some actual big names as well, like the Ancient Aliens TV show, sponsored by the History Channel. Since I'm confined to 3 minutes here, I'll be posting those on YouTube, so check that out in my profile. And now I have to clean my room so I can actually film those videos in here.
I put my new iPhone into a rock tumbler because I wanted to make it look unique. To make sure it really gets rounded, I put some rocks that I've already tumbled in as well as some coarse tumbling compound. I fired up the iPhone and launched the camera app so I could record some video from inside the tumbler. After that, I filled it up with water, put the lid on, and threw it on the tumbler. If it doesn't explode from the LiPo battery, it'll probably take about a month to get where I want it to, but I'll post updates as it goes.
Hi! Okay, so really quickly, I need you to turn your phone brightness all the way up. Okay? Now, I want you to stare at the dot that I just put on my nose. Don't move your head or your eyes and try not to blink because you're about to experience one of the coolest optical illusions that I know of. Just keep staring at the dot, okay? In a few seconds, I'm gonna turn the whole screen black and white. But if we did this right, it shouldn't look that way. And even when I do change the screen, don't stop looking at my nose. Just keep looking at it, keep staring at it. You ready? Okay, in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so hopefully for a second there, for the first time ever, you just watched a completely black and white video and saw color. But, JS, how does it work? Biology, bitch!
Cette patte peut vous sauver la vie. La D3O est une patte qui absorbe les chocs. Elle est souple quand elle est manipulée lentement, mais devient très dure lors d'un impact. On appelle ça un fluide non newtonien, c'est-à-dire qu'il agit à la fois comme un liquide et comme un solide. Il a été utilisé à partir de 2006 au JO d'hiver pour protéger des équipes de ski américaines et canadiennes. Et aujourd'hui, il est utilisé pour protéger des téléphones, des tablettes, mais aussi et surtout des soldats, des athlètes ou encore des ouvriers. D'ailleurs, cette pâte n'est évidemment pas le seul fluide non newtonien. On peut également penser au slime, qui est très facile à faire avec 2 tiers d'amidon et 1 tiers d'eau tiède. Bon après, c'est très rigolo, mais ça a pas les mêmes propriétés protectrices que le D3O. Donc ne vous amusez pas à vous taper sur la main après. Laissez ça aux professionnels, c'est mieux.
What I have here is something that I bought from Russia, and it's been sitting on my desk for over a month. However, I think it's finally time to open it up. The first step is to get rid of the vacuum sealing and remove the cap. Now, it should hopefully just slide out. Okay, so it's apparently stuck, and it's going to be a bit more annoying than I thought. What I have now kind of looks dirty and gross, but it's actually just potassium metal. It only looks dirty because it's so reactive, and it has reacted with some moisture and oxygen. What I think is cool, though, is that it's really soft, and it's very easy to cut. Inside, it's supposed to be a nice and shiny metal, but it tarnishes almost immediately when it touches air. It's also soft enough to just squish it with my finger, and it kind of felt like pushing on weird butter. Now, just for fun, I chopped off a thin slice of it, and I dropped it into some water. For a long time now, I've wanted to try recycling some aluminum cans. So, I went ahead and bought a large propane furnace. To get started, I just dropped in a large match, and I slowly opened the gas valve. After letting it preheat for a while, I dropped in a large crucible. I then closed the lid, and I waited for it to get nice and hot. I then dropped in one of the cans, and I thought it was really satisfying to see it shrivel up and melt. It also stank a bit, and it let off some smoke that probably wasn't very healthy to breathe. But anyway, all I had to do now was drop in the rest of the cans. After adding all of them, it kind of looked like a mess. However, after scooping away the slag, I actually saw some nice and liquid aluminum metal. At this point, it was looking pretty good, so I pulled out the crucible. I then carefully poured it into a preheated graphite mold. I let it sit there for a bit, and after a few minutes, I flipped it over. This gave me a nice little aluminum brick, but it was still really hot. After cooling it down, I cleaned it up a bit, and I now have a nice and shiny bar of aluminum.
Welcome back to Top 10 Worst Shapes. Number 10. Gabriel's Horn. Can hold a finite volume of paint, yet would take infinite paint to paint it. Absolutely paradoxical. Number 9. The Scudoid. All the rage in 2018 when scientists discovered a new shape, apparently a fundamental building block of multicellular organisms. It's okay, I guess. Number 8. The largest small hexagon. It is the largest hexagon that can freely move within a 1x1 square. Number 7. Moser's worm home. What's the smallest shape that can accommodate a worm in any position? No one knows, but it might be a 30-degree circular arc. Number 6. Skinny triangle. A triangle whose height is much greater than its base. Absolutely unfair beauty standards. Number 5. Gerver's sofa. It is the current largest known sofa by area that can fit around a corner. Looks uncomfy. Number 4. Bean curve. The bean curve is a quadratic plane curve described by the following equation. It looks like a bean, I guess. Number 3. The unknot. The unknot is a topologically closed loop with Seifert genus 0. If you're wondering what the difference between the unknot and a circle is, good question. Number 2. The trihedron. Yep, that's right. It's just 3 squares. Honorary mention. The digon. The digon is a two-sided polygon. It is personally my least favorite shape. I cannot even begin to bring myself to give it the title of first place of anything. Absolutely terrible shape. I mean, look at it. And the number 1 objectively worst shape is the monogon. The monogon is a one-sided polygon. It is literally classified as the most fundamental degenerate polygon. Its existence does not make sense.